So these didn't turn out exactly how I pictured them in my head, but I figured I'd go ahead and share it anyway. This is an ancient family recipe. It was passed down from my grandmother's grandmother, and beyond that, I'm not even sure how far back in the family it goes. But they are a pain in the ass to make. It takes like a whole week, and it makes a huge mess. But that's all part of the fun. I guess these are technically sugar cookies, but they're really not that sweet. I've honestly never had another cookie that I can compare the taste to. It's just a flavor that I grew up with, and the best way that I can describe it is that they taste like Christmas. So step one is to collect your ingredients. I'll put all of this in the description as well. For this recipe, you will need 4 cups of white flour, 2 cups of thick whipping cream, 2 cups of white sugar, 2 eggs, 2 sticks of butter, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla and a teaspoon of lemon juice. Some optional ingredients if you want to make your own icing is just another 2 sticks of butter, another teaspoon of vanilla, 1 cup of powdered or confectioners sugar, 12 ounces of white chocolate, and some food coloring and decorations. Found some nice candy eyeballs. Step 2, carry all the groceries into your house in one trip because I'm a man and that's how we roll. Step 3, put 1 teaspoon of lemon juice into the whipping cream and shake well. You're going to want to let that sit out at room temperature for about 24 hours. Step 4, place the whipping cream back into the fridge for about 2 or 3 days, and it may start to curdle or sour, but that is fine. Step 5, let your butter sit out for a few hours to reach room temperature. Go ahead and beat 2 eggs. Then in a separate bowl, mix together the butter and sugar. I don't have an electric mixer, so I'm doing this old school, but try and get the lumps out. A little bit lumpy is okay. Next, add the eggs, the cream, and the vanilla, and again, just try to remove more lumps. Just get rid of as many lumps as you can. Switch to a whisk if you need to. And once it is mostly smooth, stir in the baking soda and flour about 1 cup at a time until it's all blended together. The dough should have a nice thick consistency to it along with a pleasant smell. You could technically taste it at this point, but you might want to be careful with the raw egg and stuff in there. But go ahead and wrap that up and let it sit in the fridge overnight. Step 6, the dough is extremely sticky, so extra flour helps. You'll want to try and keep it cold while working with it, otherwise it starts to break apart really easily. So it's best to go ahead and work with a little bit at a time while keeping the rest in the fridge. So just roll it out to your desired thickness. I try to go for about 1/4 of an inch, applying more flour as needed. Seriously, do not be shy with the flour. use some cookie cutters to get your desired shapes, and have a butter knife or something handy to help lift them up off the cutting board. If you happen to mess one up, no worries, just chuck it back with the rest of the scraps so you can use it again. And once you've got a technique down, it goes pretty quickly. Bake on parchment paper at 350 degrees for about 10 or 15 minutes until the edges start to turn light brown. Just keep an eye on them because oven times may vary, and you'll want to let them cool before icing, and I usually only decorate about half or less, since they taste really good plain as well. Step 7, for the icing, let the butter sit out for a few hours again, and melt your white chocolate in a double boiler. Then let it cool to room temperature. Beat the butter until it's creamy, and then add the chocolate to the butter. If you do not let the chocolate completely cool, it will melt the butter and the icing will end up being too runny, so make sure you let it cool. Continue mixing while adding the sugar and vanilla until it's light and fluffy. Separate it into individual bowls for food coloring, and then decorate your cookies. This icing will harden if refrigerated, so that could be used to your advantage after decorating if you want it to set better. So yeah, this year I attempted to make some Cacodemons, and they didn't, I'm gonna call this one a failure. The taste of all those red hots kind of ruins it, but it was still fun. I probably won't try making them again. But yeah, the rest of the cookies are fine. They really do taste great. Maybe you can do a better job than I did. Happy holidays, and thanks for watching.